Good morning. Welcome to the Angeline morning workout. Let's start it off with some bicycles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The important thing here is to keep your belly button pushed in towards the ground the whole time. And try to reach out like you're stepping on a floor at the end of your bicycle. And if you're feeling strong, get those shoulder blades off of the mat. I usually count to 150, but do what works for you. All right, I'm not gonna count to 150 this time, but just gonna go through all of them. Next, 30 squats. All right, the important thing here is that the knees do not go past the end of the toes when you squat. And the first move is sending the butt out backwards, the hips backwards, keeping the spine straight up and down, butt back, and knees don't go over toes as you squat down. Aim for almost your legs parallel to the ground. One fun thing you can do is add a twist at the top. All right, next up is good mornings. Again, this is straight back. Your spine is very straight. Your knees are slightly bent. And with the straight back, we're coming forward. Trying to go almost to a parallel to the ground with your chest. There we go. I do 30 of these. If you want to focus on your breathing, breathe in, down, breathe out, up. Again, this is fun to add a twist at the top, keeping that belly button tight though when we're twisting so we don't hurt the back. Tight belly button towards the spine, and as we come up, give it a twist. All right, I'm not counting, but I usually do 30 of those. Next up, get in those quads again, but this time, one on each side. We're gonna step, it's like a side squat. Step in, step to the left. Again, the knee should not go past the toes on this. It's the same concept as a squat, but this time we're squatting with one leg, and we're also getting a nice groin stretch as we go down. So step out, squat down, touch the ground if you can, and other side. Sometimes I like to get fancy and touch the ground and go up with the arm. But really, it's just about getting that good squat and that groin stretch and changing it up a little, going side to side. On this one, I do 30 on each side. So I would do 60 in total. Again, we're got all the same principles. The first move is the butt goes back to try to make sure that knee doesn't go over those toes. And we're always keeping the belly button tucked in towards the spine, keeping the back straight. And obviously if you don't touch the ground, just go down to where you go. Maintaining that tight belly button and the back straight and the knees not going over those toes. After my first 30, sometimes a second 30. Once I have really good form and I feel really good about my form, I can like pick up the speed a little bit, add a little hop in there for those last 30. Wake up those ankles a little bit, get that blood flowing, that heart pumping, get ready to start the day. All right, again, I didn't count, but you can count. Next, this one's a balance, and also again to strengthen those hamstrings. And this is the one-legged good morning. So keeping the belly button tight, the back straight, the hips need to be straight towards the ground. We definitely don't want to open up the hips, because that can hurt the back. So belly button tucked, hips forward, and we're just coming forward. As the chest comes forward, the leg comes up in the back, and we're coming back down. Sometimes to get the balance started out, I'll just start with just kind of a one leg balance until I feel like I have good balance, and then I'll come on forward and come down. And then the coming up is where we're really strengthening the glute and that hamstring. So it's slow down, and then you should be able to feel it tight in your glute and your hamstring. Pull yourself back up, keeping that belly button tight. So these, depending on how strong I'm feeling, I'll do 10, 15, 20, or 30 on each side. My average is probably 20 on each side, maybe 15. And I lose my balance all the time. It's very normal to lose the balance. Obviously it helps to look straight ahead at a fixed point. It's not moving. I've switched sides, switched over to the other leg already. All the same things in mind. It's tight belly button, straight back. And just really using those hamstrings and those glutes to pull you back up. Keeping those hips straight. Another thing to think about to help keep the hips straight is to keep the foot pointed downward. That can help make sure your hips are staying straight towards the ground and that you're not opening up. All right, so the fifth one, or maybe we're on 6, is the best one. This really gets your heart going. So, and I have a lot of variations, so I'll do my best to keep it focused here. But the main thing is the inchworm. We're gonna come down to a toe touch, and then we're gonna walk the hands out and into a plank position with the belly button towards the spine, the glutes engaged, and we're gonna step the leg outside of the hand. And this is the world's greatest stretch. I love it. It really is the greatest. Then what I like to do is bring my forearm as far to the ground as I can, and then do a little twist, reaching it up. That just stretches everything. And then switch it up. Other side, leg outside of hand. Bring the forearm down towards the ground as far as it'll go. And then reach it up. Bring it back down. Back into that plank. Back into that inchworm. And stand up. That's a simple version. What I really like to do is throw in some push-ups. Come down to an inchworm. Once I'm out in my plank, get in a push-up, get in a row, bring your left arm up, bring the right arm up, all the while keeping the belly button really tight, keeping that plank strong so that I'm not opening up. I'm keeping my hips to the ground and bringing up that arm. Keeping a very strong plank when I do that. Then I come into my world's greatest stretch. Oh, that feels so good. Let's get a stretch on this side. And before we go back, let's get one more push-up in. And inchworm back up, with a little clap. And so it's inchworm out to plank, one push-up, one row. World's greatest stretch. On both sides, one more push-up for good measure, inchworm back. And then I do that 10 times. Inchworm out, push-up, row on each side. World's greatest stretch on each side. One more push-up for good measure, inchworm back up. Flap it at the top. And again, inchworm out, plank, push-up. World's greatest stretch. Start with the other leg. Keep it. Change it up. World's greatest stretch. Push up. And inchworm. Wrap it up. And inchworm out. Push up. Row. Row. World's greatest stretch. And a push up. And an inchworm. One more. I usually do 10, but for the sake of the length of the video, push up. Oops, I forgot the row. Push up, row. World's greatest stretch. Both sides. And one more push up. And back into the inchworm. Whew. All right, now we're ready for a great day.